in Montana's Yak Valley. Tom Orr is taking it one day at a time.
Didn't catch a thing today. Didn't catch a thing.
To be safe, he's had to take a break from his partnership with Shawn during the global pandemic. And while he's not having a lot of luck running his trap line alone, that doesn't mean Shawn isn't helping out where he can. Yesterday,
What he's doing here.
Shawn dropped off a potential jackpot.
Oh, look at that, huh?
What do you think,
All
man?
right, Shawn.
A raw pelt from a wolf he trapped on his own. Once fleshed and tanned, it could be worth more than $1,000.
Pretty rare deal, right?
Yeah, pretty rare. They're mostly in museums.
After letting it soak overnight, Tom is now ready to get to work.
Soaked it in water to bring back its flexibility and stretch to it. Next thing is to flesh it. And scrape all this little flesh stuff all off this hide.
Fleshing a hide requires a razor-sharp blade and the steady hand of a master to scrape evenly without cutting through.
What we're doing is just taking the tissue out, little scrapings of meat and little pieces of fat. All right, we're gonna take her inside. Let's put it on the frame and see. Come on, get in there. This is a stretching frame. This is what we put the wolves on to stretch their hides out after they've been skinned. It's a big old wolf. Stretched out a pretty good size.
While it stretches, Tom will prepare the next critical step, a homemade brain tanning solution that helps soften the skin.
We need to get the brains boiled to tan the hide with. All right, we'll get back after it. Well, it looks like it's cooking. Let's check it and see.
Tom's working up a pot of a trapper's special recipe.
The Native Americans all said that's the famous thing, that every animal has enough brains to tan his own hide. Well, we'll find out. Well, let's use the wolf brains to tan the wolf hide with. A little bitty hole right there. Gotta get them brains out through that. That's where the spinal column goes up through and attaches to the skull. There's lecithin that are in brains, and that's what tans these hides.
Lecithin is a fat that's ideal for lubricating and conditioning the skin.
How they ever figured that out, all the things there is to rub into a hide to tan it, it took thousands of years to figure that one out.
After Tom's extracted the brain matter, he prepares the skull to be boiled.
We get $200 for a nice wolf skull. We try to make as much money off of everything that we kill. Nancy will boil it, and she'll cook it all and clean it all off and then whiten the skull.
Hi.
I got something for you.
Oh, boy.
Well, there it is. I got the brains out of it, and I cut most of the meat off of it, and the lower jaw's in the bottom here.
Okay.
So I separated that. Ready for the boiling.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm gonna put some baking soda in with this, and this kind of helps to pull the meat away from the bone, and it kind of whitens the skull.
The biggest thing you have to be careful about cooking this is to not overcook it. You don't want it to fall apart, and you don't want the teeth to fall out.
Starting to separate away from the bone.
Nancy's got a predator in the pot.
So you have to cook it without damaging it. All of this stuff is what you have to be careful of, and the teeth, that you don't overcook and lose those. And they're still together. All right, time to start picking the skull.
Once it's cleaned of all the remaining flesh, it'll be whitened and wired together for sale, where it's worth about $200.
This one. When you can pull it off, that's great. See how that's lifted away from the bone? And then there's a point where you Need to slice a little. So you peel, peel, peel. Then you get down to where you gotta scrape, scrape, scrape.
Out back in the shed, the cooked brains are ready to apply.
The brains have to be worked all the way through the hide to the hair roots on the inside of the hide. I've tanned hundreds of deer skins, but this is my 5th or 6th wolf maybe that I've tanned. But I think I know enough we can pull this off. His tail's already starting to stretch and get whiter just from that one coat of brains. Look at it starting to suck them right in there.
Once dried and washed, the hide is then softened the hard way.
Break it up to fibers in it. And you do it by just stretching him. I've got a hold of his ears right here, and I'm pulling his head across there. From now on, it's all hand pulling and working it. There isn't nothing about brain tanning that isn't lots of work. You can't be lazy and do this. Most tanners don't have a very long life of tanning. Usually their shoulders go out on them from working hides and pulling them and stuff. So there aren't very many old tanners. I'll bet I'm one of the oldest going here, really. We might have this beat though, boys. It sure feels good to me. It's starting to come along now. Next, we need to get this hide on the smoker so we can have it all finished. The last thing that you do with a brain tanned hide is smoke it. If it's not smoked, to me, it's not even brain tan.
Once smoked, the wolf skin he's put hours into tanning could be his biggest payday of the season.
This is cedar that we're gonna put in here just to get this started. And then we're gonna switch to the old rotten cottonwood. The rotten stuff puts up more smoke. When it gets dirty, you can throw it in the water and wash it. It comes out soft and clean and nice. I guess we got her going anyhow. There's the smoke. All right, what we need now is a wolf hide. Put on this sucker. Look at it. Is that beautiful or what? Look at that thing. If that ain't a beautiful wolf, I ain't never seen a beautiful wolf.
A cloth skirt sewn onto the hide fixes it to the stovepipe to capture an even flow from the smoker.
We'll hang it over the smoker so the smoke goes up inside the hide and comes out the mouth. After 2 or 3 hours of that, it'll be sufficiently smoked. Take it on smoke. Every once in a while, you just untie your string, pick that skirt up, and look up into that hide and check out and see if it looks like there's enough smoke. All right. I think we've got it. We got a smoky wolf here.
Gosh, they're big. Look at that. Should we take this skirt off and
Yeah.
see what we got?
Yeah, see what we got there.
Isn't it something to think about packs of these big things running around out
I
there?
love it. I love it
love
out
it.
there.
Oh,
She
good
is
color.
smoked.
Good color.
All right, and you got the skull done too.
I did. Here, check him out. Bit of a change. I know.
Well, congratulations. What a nice job you did
Yeah.
on that. Shawn will be tickled to have that, I'll bet. Huh?
I hope so.
The art of brain tanning is a lot of work,
Amazing critter.
but well, it's what I do, you know, and this is what I enjoy, you know, so I'm happy with what I do and the life that I live.